Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for being with us today. I am Dana. I'm the founder of Mumpreneurs UAE and a business coach. And what do? I help mothers. I help them achieve financial freedom through business. Today, I have with me lovely Chrysoula Arvanitaki. And by the name, you realize she's from Greece. And she's a lovely, lovely woman, a mother of three, and all of them under 10 years old. Can you imagine? I have one. It's four and a half. I can't imagine having three of them. Thank you. Welcome, Chrysoula, for being here. When I asked Chrysoula, what shall I introduce her to? What is that one thing about her that others are surprised about? She said, you know what? Even I might look, like mainstream. This is the word she used. I'm very, very spiritual. And she, apart from that, she's very passionate about NLP, and she's here today to talk to us about what's the difference between feelings and emotions. And I'm very, very curious to hear that. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Chrysoula.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone in the looking as live or will look as later recorded. Thank you very much for hosting me today, Dana. It's been a pleasure. All the time we see each other somewhere in Dubai in an event. It's a sense of, a good and supportive energy when you are around in the space. So thank you very much. And looking forward to deliver something valuable for your audience today.
Oh, okay, great, great. Awesome. So we are here. It's 11:31 now in Dubai. We'll be here till 12. We have half an hour to hear about feelings and emotions. What's the difference between them? And I am a coach. So I've been a coach for the past 5 years. I'm not an NLP coach. I'm a CTI and positive intelligence coach. So for me, they are very similar. So I was really surprised to hear they're different. So tell us in which way they are. Tell me where that comes from.
And I'm honest with you, I thought they were the same, but diving deeper in my practice and as having a goal to help people overcome the situation that they are challenging in their life currently. And after a lot of studying, I came to a discrimination that was offered from many deep delve writers that there is a difference, a foundational difference between emotions and feelings. So I'm going to explain in a few seconds what's that. When we are having in our minds the word emotions, and we break actually that word is E and motion, which means energy in motion. So there is a sensation in the body, but what's the secret with the energy in motion? It's generated from outside stimuli. So it is something that we're gonna see in the news and it's gonna make us feel happy or sad. It's something we're gonna listen from our partner or our child that's gonna make us feel loved or not loved enough. And maybe we can taste a food, and then our body will give us a sensation that it's between your reference that you like or not. So emotions are stimulated from outside of our control, and they either make us feel in a way or they stop us feeling from the way that it's our normal as well, from our natural state of being. So it's something which has power outside of us. Now, when we come to feelings, though, it's the capacity that they are initiated from within us. So when I say self-initiated, they might be coming from our personal needs, which can be security, the feeling of security, the feeling for love, the feeling for feeling valuable. The feelings can come from our personal values. So what is driving us in our life every day and what's important for us. Or it can be another category, it's called intuition, which many don't even think or don't we realize that exists. So there are little impulses stimulated from our body that they are generating subtle feelings, so sensation that they're actually guiding us, and they're coming from our inner core, and they are the most accurate guidance and compasses of our life. Now, what's the problem now with the emotion and the feelings is that the feelings are very, very low. They're like crickets in a discotheque and nobody can listen to them. So that's why I would love to bring up that topic today and discuss about the discrimination and how we can listen more to that tiny crickets within a very noisy discotheque, which is our daily life,
Yeah.
with all the stimulation around.
Thank you, Chrysoula. All right. So if I understood correctly, let me see, because I'm here like the others who listen as well. So emotions are something from outside, made us feel a certain way. So we use I feel, but actually I'm getting emotions, right? I feel an emotion. I'm not feeling a feeling.
Exactly. So we're feeling an emotion, and this is a chemical reaction,
Chemical
and
reaction.
it's a chemical reaction. It's energy moving throughout our body, and depending on the frequency, which means how fast the energy or low it's traveling, it's generating negative or positive emotions. The problem is when we're in an environment which is stimulating low frequencies, like bad news or negative news, comparison through social media, or talk which is low talk, or even our self talk, what we tell to ourselves every day, then imagine what's the sum of the emotions and the quality that they are running throughout our body most of the day.
Okay. All right. Okay. And so these are the emotions.
These are the emotions.
Okay. All right. And now it comes the feeling. Feeling comes in words, and they are they
So
are they comes from our basic needs, from our values, right? They're out to love, like for would you say my love, what I have for my son, it's a feeling, right?
it is a feeling,
Comes
exactly.
from me. Okay, all right, I got you that. Okay, I think did I get it correct?
Very well, correct. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And the feelings are mostly coming, we can say, from our core of our body and from our heart. Whereas the emotion are stimulated by the mind. And that's the foundational difference. So feelings are
Mm.
coming from that space. And that's why we experience love towards our children or our partners.
Okay, so it comes from here, and that one is from here because something happens, the stimulus, like you say, something happened, we hear, we see through our senses, and it comes to us. All right,
Yeah.
great. Thank you. Now, why is it important? What's important about us making the difference between emotions and feelings?
So for me, the foundation is to understand actually what's the range, the emotional range that we are experiencing every day. So when we understand that we are mostly negative, then we can understand and identify why we have negative results throughout the day.
Mm.
Now, if we really want to change something, we will first have to evaluate the emotional range that we are throughout the day. So let's say if we have an issue with our child, we really have to sit down and understand and identify during the day how are my emotional response when I think to my child, because this is stimulated by the mind. Now if I am fed up with what's going on and I really want to change things from now on, then I have to start feeling differently, which means that we have to change how we perceive, for that instance, our child and other situation, and starting initiating daily, slowly and slowly, positive feelings towards the person or the situation that we want to experience differently.
Mm. So emotions comes to us, and when they in fact they affect us, let's say you use the negative example of being triggered by, our child did something, and the way we respond, we are not happy with that, right? We know we can do better, and then what we do, we called in our feelings, right, from like the love, the compassion, the purpose, and everything, what nurturing what we have for our children, so that they can counteract the emotion, the negative emotion. Is
The
that
negative, exactly.
okay? Is
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
Something very impressive I need to say here, it's that emotions are mostly connected with our past, which means while we were very young, when we were born, and for the next 7 years, we were out in the world and we were experiencing the world. So most of the connection were made there. And actually, what is triggering our emotion response today, it's our body remembering our past. So this is what's the key. If I want to experience something different, I have to get above my programming of the past and the emotional response, and I have to deliberately start feeling differently. And this is the key of every day trying to stimulate a different feeling response toward what we want to change. And it can be even with the money. Do I really want to advance financially? I have to start feeling different like now about towards money.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because this mompreneurs is for mother entrepreneurs. I was thinking it's great for us to know how does this translate for us as mother entrepreneurs, how our life will change as experience as we build our business, or maybe our the capacity for us to grow as business women if we have that figured out.
So for me, the first foundational target would be first to identify what success means for us.
Okay.
And it's not what success means for another mother, because what is good for us is not good for the other person, and vice versa. So first, success, what it includes. So it's not a vague statement, but our brain needs to have clear instruction. So let's say for Dana, success means that she wants to have all these areas cultivated. So it's we need to really identify what success and how we're going to feel when we reach that state. Always, if we want to become successful, the best way to start practicing success is from now, because that feeling is going to determine and unlock all the doors so we can get there, because our brain will give us the light to
Yeah.
pass the tunnel.
We'll find a how. And we have here a few people listening. So I wonder if I have any questions or any comments up to now, please write it in the chat, in the comments. We are in different platforms, so I'm not sure if you are from LinkedIn or you're from Facebook or YouTube. So write it there so we know we know going on if we have any questions or comments. And if not, that's all right too. We are happy to share. We are happy to be here. All right, Chrysoula, I have a few questions here because you really made me curious about this topic. How can we make the difference between feeling and emotions when it's happening in the midst of things? Is it a feeling, is it an emotion? How can we make the difference?
Oh, so that's a very good question. And to be honest with you, this has to be done in a very quiet space. Why? Because as I said before, the emotional response is very strong because there are chemicals or energy waves moving throughout our body. And since we operate mostly with the senses, throughout their day. So what do we use? We use eyes, we use our ears, and maybe we use because we're tasting something or smelling something. So all of these throughout the day, I would say 80% were navigated through emotions. But feelings are coming and are sensed only when we are in a quieter space. So they can come up when we meditate or when we are enjoying, how can I say, a nice experience. And the senses are coming really are springing from inside our heart. So that's where we're gonna make the distinction. When they're heartfelt, stirs, then we can say there are feelings. But when we are experiencing something like I'm experiencing my coffee, and then I have this is an emotion. So this is the distinguish. And to be honest with you, it needs training and practice. But for me, the results are gonna reward everyone who really wants to do that work, because conscious reality, so what we want to make for our future, is going to be created by conscious feelings and not by random emotion of what's going around us and what we see in the social media or the TV, because then somebody else has the power on our destiny and future.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you. That was, and now I realize when you started about how it's gonna impact our mompreneurs, the mompreneurs. You say the basics was, making the difference, right? So what are the, like, the money, right? I think this is what you said about money. What, I'm so sorry. It was about the success. I'm so concentrating that I said so many things that I get confused. So let me go back. You're talking about success. What about other things that we can do for us for making the distinctions can help us?
Okay, so I would say a very good example, and since we have mompreneurs listening to us, a big topic are money because it's
Yes.
a driving force and it gives us energy to do the things that we want to do. So a good idea would be, and that's a good example actually, emotions and versus feelings. So let's say I spend something. The minute I spend, it's triggered an emotion. So that's a very good way to actually catch ourselves. Okay, what's my emotional thermostat around money? Or when I see the news about prices going up, then we're gonna catch up. That's an emotional response of something that somebody else outside me is actually saying that moment. So this is a good topic. So the next time you are gonna spend or something, or maybe you can donate something, or any idea that's entertaining your mind about a financial situation, please write it down and see what's your emotional range about the situation or about the financial situation that you are experiencing today.
Yeah. I have a question. So when is it about spending? Sometimes for me it comes with guilt, like, oh my God, I spent so much. When I go for brands for lesson, I find so many shoes and so many dresses, and well, like I want to get everything, right? So that comes. Welcome. I see someone just joined. Amazing. Okay. Another one is that related to when we ask for money for our products and services? Is that something to do with that as well? Because I know many entrepreneurs they do, many of them, they do it because they love it. It's a hobby, it's a passion. They want to, improve the life of others. And then money comes like, I don't want to ask for money. So is that something related to what we are talking about earlier? How we see
It's
money?
Of course, because what we are, when we ask for money and we don't charge as much as we should, what are we afraid of? Feeling an emotion. So we're holding, not to feel an emotion of it can be anything, a possible rejection or a possible favor, as will be decoded from our
Yeah.
mind. So definitely, it lies within the area of what emotion we want to avoid. Whereas we put our price low, 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 so somebody will say yes, and then we're going to be happy. So that's actually a very good topic where we really need to write down a few points why we are fine to charge the amount we
Yeah.
want to charge, and the reasons why we are unique and different.
Yeah, and that's lovely about us. So we have a question here. It's actually it's it's not really a question. It's a statement someone sharing. Thank you for doing that. It's always hard to say the price to friends and family. I always lower it. Where does that come from?
So that's a very good question, actually, and this was, I think, everybody who is starting is having that question. Um, what's your A very good idea is to have some rules when we have a business and we wanna, sell to people who we know, like family or friends. A very good idea is that we have an internal rule. Are we gonna charge for family or friends? So that's a very good question. If yes, we feel that we need to get paid for that, then are we going to have a special price for them, or they're going to go full price, right? Now, if we're going to start with an internal rule that I'm never going to take money from family or friends, then I support that and I'm fine and open to offer for free then. So I would say that's an issue that comes. But for me, it's like more, okay, if you have an issue, there is no internal rule guiding you on what you're going to do. So whoever comes and asks you, you reply yes or no according to the emotion of the moment.
Ah, yeah. Yes. And when you, like you say, guilty, when you, the second like, oh my God, I wish, I didn't give it, or I wish I gave it for free. You feel, or I gave it less, I gave it a full price. So either way you do, unless you have an internal agreement with yourself, then you're going to mess it up. Correct?
Exactly. So if there is a very deep rooted internal rule that, and we are prepared for that, right? That, for family and friends, I'm going to charge maybe 50% off, and we really
Yeah.
embody that, then nobody's going to question that. If we're going to go to family and friends with that, they're going to pay 100%, no problem. Nobody will debate that because it's integrated with us. It's our rule, and our world will reflect that the rule is working actually. Now, the same with the free. If I want to go free, that's fine because that's my rule, that's my value, I stand for that, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So that's the thing I would advise everybody who is facing this challenge to be clear, make their own rules. What's going to be my charging policy when it comes to family and friends? Stick with that, go with that, and see the miracles coming your way in your self-confidence.
Yeah. I like that. Being straightforward. All right. I have another question that I wanted to find out. How can we do to connect with our feelings event daily? Do you have a do you have a, I don't know, some tips or techniques that for us that we can connect with our
Thank you for
feelings? Because
asking
that
that.
sounds like we are the empowering ones, right? This is the ones we want to feel most of. Is that correct?
Exactly. So, because actually the feelings, the self initiated feelings, are molding the life around us and they're changing situations and events that we're going to be encountering. For me, the best tool would be you wake up in the morning and all your day is right, in front of you. What would be best than while lying in the bed? Concentrating for 5 only minutes how we like to be feeling throughout our day, so we can, let's say, bring in our mind our children, right? So first we can use a very nice technique from NLP which is called anchoring. So we're going to use our palm here, and I can ask myself how I really want to feel about my children throughout the day. Yes, any would be. So then, with my finger, I touch and anchor the emotion here, or in every place of your palm you feel confident. So for a few minutes, what I'm doing, I'm recalling the feelings that I want to feel toward my children.
Mm-hmm.
And please notice how powerful it is. And every second it goes, how more love we feel for our children, because our muscles now remember here that, I want to feel more proud. And we stay there for 1 minute. And all our cells are bathed in that very nice feeling and frequency. Then we can go and recall another feeling we want to be experiencing throughout the day. How I want to be the day with my partner. So maybe I want to receive love. How would it be feeling if I would receive a kiss or a bunch of flowers every day? How would it be feeling? So then I use the second knuckle here and I anchor that amazing feeling of receiving love. Few seconds, 1 minute, it's enough for our reality to take the best path. And now, for especially the moms who are having their own business, success. In the third one, how success will be feeling like. And feel that amazing feeling penetrating every cell of your body and how it opens. We are expanding. Use the last knuckle about thinking about our financial situation. So how would it be feeling if we were experiencing the best financial situation ever? So how would it be to have all the money we need in our disposal in the last knuckle? So how would it feel? What would be possible there? What we could do with all that money if we have them that we need? What faces can we make smile? Which charities we can support? What nice clothes we can buy for ourselves, our children, or other members for our family?
Yeah.
So for anyone who tried that, it's a very simple tool and strategy. It takes only 5 minutes, and it really expands our body to welcome and feel more of that feelings, because whatever is more dominant in the body throughout the day, the more of that we're going to experience the next day and the third day coming.
And do you recall them throughout the day, or what do you do them after? Or you
So
just, yes. Tell me, please.
I have a routine. So it's not that we have to make a habit of everything if we want to change something. So I have a habit that every morning when I wake up, I do that tool for 5 minutes in the morning, because that's the best time that the unconscious mind is open. So it's the best time to give instructions to our body what we would like to experience more of. And then if I have a very busy day and I feel that I'm getting ungrounded, definitely I'm gonna do it around lunchtime, because I need to, put my energies back in core, and I need to really give instructions to my body where it's gonna be taking me throughout the day. And before going to sleep, it's another critical time of the day, because as again the unconscious mind is really open, so it's like a fertile soil awaiting for our seeds, our ideas, our inspiration to make them reality. So that's the best times of the day: early in the morning after we wake up, before we go to sleep. We seed the ideas, the feelings of what we want to experience the coming days. And we don't need to do more than that, because the unconscious mind is really a fertile soil. And sooner or later, it will deliver our wildest dreams. If we really keep on that, keep on the feelings of what we really want to experience.
Very, very interesting. I'll try this on. I'll try it. I like, while doing here with you, I already noticed my feelings, working up the love what I have for my family, my husband, my everyone surrounding me. All right, wonderful. Thank you very much. We have 3 minutes left now, Chrysoula. If anyone, what do you do in your practice? Do you work with clients one on one? How do you make this happen? Because I know you have your own company. Tell us about it, please.
Thank you for asking. So mainly I work with clients one to one, and either I meet them face to face in Dubai or via Zoom internationally. And I love conducting workshops as well. Once per month, I bring a topic that the audience would like to, be presented with, like limiting beliefs or the inner child. So for now, that's areas I'm really passionate about. I specialize, and it's something that I do out of love, seeing other people smiling and
Yeah.
feeling more expansive.
Yeah, yeah. I like the way you say expansive, because while I was doing that, for me, it said, how does it feel? I felt like, stretching my arms and being open. So you said expansive. This is what I felt. I felt expansive at that time. And and if anyone would like to go get in touch with you, how they can do that, Chrysoula?
So they can get in touch with me via LinkedIn, Instagram, and through my website.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you. Before we go, anything that you want to say to before we have 1 more minute? One last word.
Thank you for everyone who is watching today. I'm sure there is something special for you today. So what I would say, just allow yourself to expand. We are facing so many contracting elements throughout our day, that we don't find time to extract and unfold who we are in our core, which we are, powerful beings when we really put in place our feelings. So that's what I would say: more connect more with your true self, expand, and don't worry about anything. Let your unconscious mind, your body, which is so wise, to do all the hard work. So that's the last message I would like to give.
Thank you, Chrysoula. I really learned now. I can say I know the difference between feelings and emotions. Thank you very much for bringing us to today. Thank you for being here. And for the others, every Thursday, we try, if we have guests, we do a live every Thursday between 11:30 to 12 for topics related to motherhood, to entrepreneurship. And if you feel that there is something that you like to share with other mompreneurs, just send an email, send me a message, dana@danaelenam.com, and we'll arrange it. Thank you, Chrysoula. Have a lovely, lovely day. I will close.